So, are people still going to think that the Blackpool Fight Club is the biggest thing in pro wrestling? I'm just being honest. You have two has-been stars that could on themselves by themselves could be main eventing AEW. Having Wheeler Yuta that sounds like a minor Yu-Gi-Oh character that got beaten like the first episode, and William Regal. What makes William Regal have a legitimate background to be like Blackpool Fight Club, other than that's where he's from, except the three other guys that are from the United States? Either than they do technical like strong style work rate BS. Like there's no mythos into these guys just wearing the t-shirts and just saying they're there for wrestling. Great, so they're the ripoff of that Foundation faction from Ring of Honor, trying to bring back the pro wrestling and pro wrestling. Like, shut up. Pro wrestling is pro wrestling. And guess what? Sports entertainment is pro wrestling. Shut up. This is a mark ass storyline. No one ever says that they're excited to see whatever Blackpool Fight Club is going to do on Dynamite or Rampage on the next episode, other than have a great match, and I guess they're trying to convert Daniel Garcia. That's a majority. They are still doing this long-term storytelling. Is just stretching things out whenever they have no other characters to go around. When you have two guys that just were just in the tournament for the world title not that long ago, and you have Wheeler Yuta getting bitched, Bryan Danielson bitching every time he loses a main event match, and Moxley looking like a schizophrenic crackhead that struggles to take 12 steps, and William Regal being a mark for himself jobber that knows that nobody will ever take him seriously in the business. I hate the Blackpool Fight Club with their little rip-off Call of Duty Black Ops font, uncircumcised characters that no one can relate to. They all don't look like badasses at all. They all look like stepdads. Wheeler Yuta looks like he got cheated on in every step of his life, from probably middle school to adult life. Like, even in high school, the whole football team, even the whole Yu-Gi-Oh team that he wasn't even a part of because he wasn't that popular with even the nerds. That's the type of people that his girl would rather hang out with. Wheeler Yuta sucks, bro. If anybody tells me that he has any like good thing that happened, his career highlight is just getting pimp slapped by both Danielson and Moxley and Regal. He comes getting bitched and he just joins the group even though he loses clean most of the time. Like Danielson at all. There's no way that this group can get over. There's no way. You can call me a hater, but no one ever brings up that they want to wear a Blackpool Fight Club shirt. And then you have Claudio Castagnoli there too. That's like they could have pulled the trigger on me, but you disagree with Vince McMahon. I know Vince McMahon is always in his ways to how a wrestler should be treated like a top guy, but Cesaro, other than the swing, nobody would care to see you with a microphone in your mouth. Either than you're just there to do a decent 20-minute match and just still be a curtain jerker, not knowing that you look like a guy, the main antagonist of Taken, but you have the charisma of the son, the first guy that the first boyfriend brought up to the family. At all, like nothing. You have weird nipples. None of this group looks like it gels together. It's the same thing with this Damage Control faction that is a bit younger than Blackpool Fight Club. What Blackpool Fight Club has existed for like a year, while Damage Control existed for like 3 to 4 months. I think since after SummerSlam, when Bayley came back. So it's been a while. While for this group, these guys barely main event unless there's more than one of them. And even if they do, they just have average subpar matches. They don't even bring up their own matches, their own rulings, or get over the top with it to make sure that there's something they connect with over with the group. They're still in this long-term storyline. It's just dragged out, by the way. That they are against, sports entertainers, even though they worked for sports entertainment for nearly a decade. Hypocrites. And plus, it just doesn't work out because nobody can barely understand the storyline that you're going for, complaining about 2 different ways wrestling is made. That's so stupid. It just doesn't look right. The group doesn't look right. They never get over. No one cares whenever they're on screen, and whenever they do, they just pimp slap each other, trying to think that they're all badasses, even though they have as much muscle mass as a sumo wrestler. It just doesn't look good. None of them look good. And the only reason like any person is gonna like it is of course because they like the four wrestlers, not because they actually think that the group actually works or they think the group is cool. It's just not. The name doesn't work, the gimmick doesn't work, and just none of these guys work in a cohesive unit when there's no chemistry among all of them other than they're just good wrestlers. What part of that sounds good to you? Like at least the inner circle, there was innate chemistry, or at least this was carried out over the charisma of Chris Jericho. Like everything, he had a quotable line, and the inner circle had to carry off it. When it came to Sammy Guevara, uh, when they built up more of Santana and Ortiz being a constant fix on main eventing Dynamite over earlier around the episodes, Jake Hagar looked legit, and everybody looked legitimate. When you bring up over their backgrounds, where they came from, they come over the vignettes. You get to see these guys grow and they achieve shit. You're seeing the either than Moxley winning the world title, all these guys hold the belts that nobody watch. Everybody holds the belts that nobody watches the show of, and they don't look legitimate. Nobody barely knows the background unless they're because they're all established names already. Yet they don't get over because they're all charisma vacuums, other than the shit they did in WWE. If anybody disagrees, that's fine. You have the right to. And I have the right to say what I want, because this is my platform. That's it for me. Thanks for watching the DST show. Thanks for watching, and everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend.